Hey there. Welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who feels like life is constantly speeding up, if you're always juggling work, family, social media, and just trying to keep it all together, then you're in the right place. You might have asked yourself, what does it really take to live a life that's not just about surviving, but actually thriving? We're constantly bombarded with messages that promise the next big thing to make us happier, healthier, or more successful, but what if the answers to living a truly fulfilling life are already inside us? What if all it takes is a few simple, intentional changes to completely transform the way you experience the world? In today's video, we're diving into something powerful, something that could completely shift the way you approach your health, happiness, and even your purpose. We're talking about holistic wellness, a mindset and lifestyle that balances your body, mind, and spirit in ways you might not have considered before. These principles aren't just nice ideas, they're life-changing practices that have been used for centuries. And today, you'll learn how to bring them into your daily routine. Now, don't worry if you're thinking, I don't have time for all that, or I'm not sure where to start. Trust me, this is not about perfection, it's about progress. And you'll see exactly how small changes can have a massive impact on your overall well-being. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with practical tools, powerful insights, and a fresh perspective on how to live a balanced, vibrant life. But before we jump into the transformative tips that are going to help you live your best life, I want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who could use a little extra peace, positivity, and wellness in their lives. Trust me, you don't want to miss the gems coming up, so let's get started. In today's world, where constant pressures and expectations surround us, the pursuit of health and happiness can often feel like a never-ending struggle. We juggle responsibilities, work, relationships, and our own aspirations, often losing sight of the things that truly matter. Whether we're dealing with the stresses of our careers, the complexities of personal relationships, or simply feeling overwhelmed by the pace of modern life, finding balance seems like an elusive dream. Yet, what if we've been looking for happiness and wellness in all the wrong places? What if the key to living a fulfilling life is not about seeking something external, but about looking inward and making small, intentional changes in our everyday routines? Achieving a more vibrant and richer existence doesn't require grand gestures or drastic shifts. Instead, the solution may lie in simple, consistent habits that foster both mental and physical well-being. These habits can be the cornerstone for building a life filled with balance, peace, and happiness. The truth is that we all possess the innate ability to transform our lives, and it's often just a matter of implementing practices that nurture our body, mind, and spirit in holistic ways. One of the key elements to living a better life is mindful eating. For many people, eating has become a mechanical activity, something that's done in between meetings or while running errands, rather than a conscious, enjoyable process. This disconnect from the act of eating can lead to poor digestion, unhealthy food choices, and emotional imbalances. However, mindful eating, a practice that focuses on being present while eating, can completely transform our relationship with food. When we take the time to appreciate the textures, flavors, and even the smells of the food we consume, we not only improve our digestion, but also cultivate a deeper appreciation for the nourishment our food provides. It's about slowing down, savoring each bite, and truly connecting with the experience of eating, rather than just filling our stomachs out of habit or stress. Consider this. The average American adult spends less than 20 minutes per meal, often eating in front of a screen or while multitasking. But what happens when we actually sit down, take a deep breath, and eat without distractions? The experience becomes more fulfilling. I once worked with a client, a busy lawyer with a high-pressure job, who had developed the habit of scarfing down lunch in 10 minutes while working at her desk. She would often feel bloated, fatigued, and stressed after meals. I encouraged her to take 30 minutes each day to eat her lunch without distractions. Within a week, she reported feeling more energized and found herself better able to focus at work. This small shift in her routine not only improved her physical health, but also gave her a sense of mental clarity. This is the essence of mindful eating. Simple, yet incredibly powerful. Another essential practice in achieving a balanced life is meditation. The art of meditation has been around for centuries, and its benefits are now being more widely recognized, especially in our fast-paced modern world. Meditation is often misunderstood as something overly complex or spiritual, but at its core, it's simply a practice of sitting in stillness and quieting the mind. By doing so, we allow ourselves to step away from the noise and clutter of our daily lives and reconnect with the present moment. The benefits of this practice are profound. Meditation has been shown to reduce stress, improve focus, lower blood pressure, and enhance emotional well-being. For example, I recall a conversation with a colleague who was constantly stressed due to work deadlines and personal responsibilities. He had trouble sleeping and was often irritable. After introducing him to a daily meditation practice, he noticed a significant change. Initially, he struggled with the practice, his thoughts constantly racing, but after a few weeks, he found that he could meditate for longer periods and, more importantly, felt more centered throughout the day. This experience mirrors what many people report when they begin meditation: an increased sense of calm, a clearer mind, and the ability to respond more thoughtfully to challenges. It's not about stopping your thoughts altogether, it's about learning to observe them without judgment and, over time, quieting the mental noise that often dictates our reactions. Positive thinking is another powerful tool for creating a better life. We all have an internal dialogue that influences our actions and attitudes. The nature of this dialogue, whether it's rooted in negativity or positivity, can have a significant impact on our lives. Negative thinking often stems from past experiences or fear of the unknown, and when we allow ourselves to be consumed by those thoughts, we limit our potential. On the other hand, positive thinking enables us to reframe situations, see opportunities where others might see obstacles, and build resilience in the face of adversity. Take, for instance, a friend of mine who had struggled with chronic illness for years. She found herself constantly defeated by negative thoughts, questioning whether she would ever feel healthy again. One day, she decided to change her mindset. Instead of focusing on what she couldn't do, she began to shift her thoughts toward what she could do. Slowly, she started incorporating healthier habits into her routine, like daily walks, meditation, and cooking nutritious meals. Over time, her health improved, and she found that she had more energy, felt more motivated, and was able to focus on the positive aspects of her life. The key here is not about denying the reality of challenges, but about choosing to focus on the positives. Even when the going gets tough, positive thinking doesn't mean everything will be perfect, but it does create an environment where you can thrive, even in adversity. Alongside mental practices, another essential aspect of well-being is the way we interact with nature. We are all part of the natural world, and yet, in our modern, urbanized lives, we often forget this fundamental connection. Nature has an incredible ability to heal and restore us. Scientific studies have shown that spending time in natural environments reduces stress levels, enhances cognitive function, and even boosts the immune system. The simple act of stepping outside, breathing fresh air, and appreciating the beauty of the natural world can provide a sense of peace and clarity that is hard to find elsewhere. I've personally experienced this benefit on numerous occasions. On days when I'm feeling overwhelmed or stuck in my thoughts, taking a walk in the park or sitting by a body of water helps me reset. Nature has a grounding effect that reminds us to be present, to pause, and to simply breathe. There's an inherent peace that comes from being surrounded by the natural world, whether it's the sound of birds chirping or the sight of trees swaying in the wind. One particularly memorable experience was during a stressful period of my life when I went on a weekend hiking trip in the mountains. I spent hours surrounded by towering trees and rushing streams, and by the end of the weekend, I felt lighter, more at ease, and more connected to myself. Nature's restorative power is undeniable, and it's a resource that we should all tap into regularly. Simplification is another transformative practice that can lead to greater well-being. In today's society, we often place value on accumulating more possessions, more experiences, more achievements, but in reality, true fulfillment comes not from having more, but from having less and appreciating what we already have. Simplification is about shedding the excess, whether it's physical clutter, mental distractions, or unnecessary commitments. When we simplify our lives, we create space for peace, for creativity, for joy, and for growth. Consider the experience of a friend of mine who went through a personal transformation by simplifying her lifestyle. She had been living in a large house, filled with items she didn't need, and was constantly rushing between obligations. After adopting a minimalist approach, she moved to a smaller space, decluttered her possessions, and focused on activities that brought her genuine joy. Not only did she find that she had more time and energy, but she also experienced a sense of calm that had been absent from her life for years. Simplification doesn't just apply to physical spaces, it extends to mental and emotional spaces as well. By letting go of unnecessary stress, toxic relationships, and negative thought patterns, we make room for more of what matters. Finally, the idea of self-healing is central to the philosophy of holistic wellness. While modern medicine offers significant advancements, true healing goes beyond merely addressing symptoms. It involves recognizing the body's natural ability to heal itself when given the right conditions. Self-healing is about listening to your body, nurturing it with the right foods, exercise, rest, and mental care, and allowing it the space to recover and thrive. I had the privilege of working with a client who had been diagnosed with a chronic illness. After months of conventional treatments, he found little improvement. When he began to take charge of his health through nutrition, meditation, and stress management, he experienced significant improvement in his condition. His story is a testament to the power of self-healing, showing that by caring for our bodies holistically, we can often restore balance and vitality, even in the face of serious health challenges. Holistic wellness is about recognizing that our health is interconnected. Our mind, body, and spirit are all part of the same system. By incorporating practices like mindful eating, meditation, positive thinking, time in nature, simplification, and self-healing, we create a foundation for a life that is not only healthier but more balanced and fulfilling. While the journey to wellness may look different for each of us, the common thread is the intentional, small steps we take every day to nurture ourselves and our well-being. Most of us eat without much thought, whether it's grabbing a quick bite during a hectic day, mindlessly snacking while watching TV, or hastily eating at a desk while working. We tend to eat on autopilot. In many cases, food becomes something to rush through rather than an experience to savor and appreciate. Yet, when we eat mindfully, intentionally, with awareness and appreciation for the food, we tap into a profound source of nourishment that can positively impact our health, digestion, and emotional well-being. Mindful eating is more than a trend or a passing wellness buzzword. It's a transformative practice with the potential to reshape our relationship with food. Mindful eating is, at its core, about being present with the act of eating. It involves engaging all of your senses, smelling the aromas of the food, noticing the texture of each bite, feeling the temperature and the weight of the food, and even listening to the sounds it makes as you chew. But mindful eating goes beyond this sensory engagement. It's also about noticing how the food makes you feel emotionally and physically. How do you feel before you eat? Are you eating out of habit, boredom, or genuine hunger? How do you feel after eating? Are you satisfied? Or do you feel overstuffed, bloated, or uncomfortable? The concept of mindfulness has its roots in ancient traditions, particularly in Buddhism, which emphasizes being fully present in the moment and cultivating awareness in all aspects of life. Eating is no exception. Traditionally, the idea is that by paying attention to the food, we acknowledge its role in sustaining and nourishing our bodies, creating a sacred experience out of what might otherwise seem mundane. The act of eating becomes an opportunity to practice presence, gratitude, and self-care. In my own life, incorporating mindful eating into my daily routine has been transformative, not just for my digestion, but for my entire approach to food. For years, I ate on the go, consumed by the hustle of daily life. I would throw together a quick meal without giving it much thought, barely noticing the flavors or the sensations as I ate. However, when I decided to slow down and truly be present while eating. Something changed. I began to savor the food, appreciating the texture of each bite, noticing the flavors unfold, and paying attention to how the food made me feel. Rather than simply eating to fill a hunger gap, I was eating to nourish my body and mind. It wasn't an overnight shift. In fact, it took some practice and conscious effort to stop rushing through meals. But over time, I found that the act of eating became much more enjoyable. Meals became an experience, rather than just a chore. The food itself seemed to taste better, and I felt more satisfied after eating, even with smaller portions. Most importantly, I learned to listen to my body's signals, recognizing when I was truly hungry and when I had had enough. This practice of eating with awareness helped me overcome the habit of mindless overeating and reinforced healthier, more intuitive eating patterns. One memorable experience was when I decided to take a lunch break outside on a particularly busy day. I brought a simple sandwich, but instead of scarfing it down while checking emails, I sat down under a tree in the park, took a few deep breaths, and focused solely on the meal. I noticed the crispness of the lettuce, the savory flavor of the cheese, and the chewiness of the bread. As I ate, I felt my body relax, and I realized just how satisfying the meal was, not just in terms of taste, but in how my body responded to it. I felt more energized afterward and noticed that I wasn't immediately craving a sugar rush, as I typically would after eating something in a rush. This was a small but profound shift in how I viewed food. It became more than just fuel. It became an experience of connection with my body, my environment, and my overall well-being. My experience with mindful eating is far from unique. A few years ago, I met a retired nutritionist who shared with me his personal transformation through mindful eating. He had spent years working in the health and nutrition field, and yet, like so many of us, he had fallen into the trap of eating mindlessly. He would rush through meals, barely tasting the food, and often experience discomfort after eating. His digestion was poor, and he struggled with constant cravings. After being introduced to the concept of mindful eating, he decided to give it a try. At first, he found it difficult to slow down during meals, as he was used to eating quickly and with little attention to the process. But with practice, he began to savor his food. He noticed the differences in texture and flavor, and he became more attuned to his body's signals. Over time, he experienced improved digestion and found that his cravings for unhealthy foods diminished. He also realized that he was able to intuitively sense when he was full, something he hadn't been able to do for years. In the past, he would eat until his plate was empty, regardless of whether he felt satisfied. But through mindful eating, he discovered a more balanced, enjoyable approach to food. His experience underscores a crucial point. Mindful eating doesn't just improve digestion. It also strengthens our connection to our bodies, helping us become more in tune with our physical needs. This leads to a better understanding of our hunger cues and can ultimately help us make healthier choices. By being present during meals, we start to recognize when we're actually hungry, as opposed to eating out of stress, boredom, or habit. Additionally, mindful eating can help reduce overeating and emotional eating, as we learn to enjoy our meals without feeling the need to binge or eat beyond what our bodies truly need. One of the most fascinating aspects of mindful eating is its impact on cravings. For years, I found myself reaching for junk food when I was stressed or tired, even when I wasn't genuinely hungry. Like many people, I had learned to associate food with comfort and relief from emotions. However, as I practiced mindful eating, I began to recognize the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. By slowing down and checking in with myself before reaching for a snack, I could discern whether I was actually hungry or just trying to fill an emotional void. As a result, I found myself craving healthier foods and making more conscious decisions about what I ate. The benefits of mindful eating also extend beyond our physical health. There's an emotional and psychological element that often gets overlooked. In today's fast-paced world, we rarely take the time to pause, appreciate the present moment, and nurture our bodies with intention. When we eat mindfully, we're not just nourishing our bodies with food, we're also nourishing our minds and emotions. The act of slowing down and engaging in a mindful eating practice can be a form of self-care, a reminder that we deserve to enjoy our meals and take the time to nourish ourselves fully. It's also important to recognize that mindful eating is not about perfection. It's not about being rigid or restrictive in our approach to food. It's about cultivating awareness and presence, without judgment, even if we occasionally eat quickly or indulge in a treat. The key is to bring ourselves back to the present moment and refocus on the act of eating with intention. Mindful eating is not a diet or a set of rules to follow. It's a way of being a mindset that can positively influence every aspect of our relationship with food. The lessons from mindful eating are simple yet profound. By becoming present during meals, we can improve our digestion, develop healthier eating habits, and cultivate a deeper appreciation for the nourishment our food provides. It's about slowing down and appreciating the food we eat, rather than rushing through meals or eating out of habit. As we become more mindful in our eating practices, we not only enhance our physical health, but also strengthen our emotional connection to food, turning it into a source of nourishment and joy, rather than stress or guilt. Through mindful eating, we can unlock a new level of self-awareness and health that is both sustainable and transformative. Meditation is often misunderstood in the modern world. Many people view it as something reserved for monks or spiritual seekers, a practice that requires hours of sitting still in silence. However, meditation, at its core, is not about rigid techniques or esoteric rituals. It is a tool for achieving inner peace, clearing the mind, and reconnecting with our true selves. In a world filled with constant distractions, constant emails, social media notifications, the pressures of work, and the demands of family life, meditation offers us a brief yet powerful moment to pause, breathe, and center ourselves. It provides an opportunity to step away from the external noise, calm the mind, and tap into a deeper sense of clarity and purpose. When I first began practicing meditation, I found it incredibly challenging. My mind was a constant whirlwind of thoughts, ideas, worries, to-do lists, so sitting quietly for even a few minutes felt like an impossible task. The stillness was uncomfortable, almost unnatural. I kept thinking about how much more productive I could be if I wasn't sitting there doing nothing. But, as with most new practices, the difficulty in the beginning only meant I had to stick with it. And over time, things started to shift. The more I practiced, the more I began to notice small changes in my emotional landscape. My stress levels gradually began to decrease. My ability to focus sharpened, and I found myself feeling more grounded. Even during chaotic moments in my day, what once felt like a chore became a cherished ritual, an essential tool that I could rely on to reconnect with myself and reset my emotional state. Meditation is not an instantaneous fix, nor is it something that guarantees permanent peace or happiness right away. Instead, it's a process, one that takes time, practice, and patience. The first few attempts at meditation may feel frustrating. You may find your mind constantly wandering, or you may struggle with the discomfort of sitting still. But the key lies in persistence. Over time, the simple act of sitting in stillness, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, can create a profound shift in your mental state. It's not about eliminating all thoughts from your mind. Rather, it's about becoming aware of them without judgment. Meditation trains the mind to observe thoughts and emotions as they arise, without getting attached to them or allowing them to take over. The most immediate benefit of meditation is its ability to reduce stress. In our modern society, stress has become an almost constant companion. Between work pressures, relationship challenges, financial worries, and the demands of daily life, it can feel overwhelming at times. Meditation offers us a simple but powerful tool to combat stress. The process of focusing on the breath, of centering the mind, allows us to break free from the cycle of stress and anxiety. Even just a few minutes of deep breathing can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, calm the nervous system, and help us feel more balanced and in control. For example, the next time you're caught in a stressful situation, whether it's a deadline at work or a personal disagreement, taking a moment to pause, close your eyes, and breathe deeply can create an immediate shift in how you respond. Instead of reacting from a place of stress or panic, you can approach the situation with greater clarity and composure. Another powerful benefit of meditation is its ability to improve emotional regulation. It is easy to get swept up by our emotions, especially when we're faced with challenging situations. Whether it's anger, sadness, frustration, or anxiety, our emotions can feel overwhelming and difficult to manage. Meditation helps create a buffer between us and our emotions. By practicing mindfulness and observing our emotions without judgment, we can begin to create space between our emotional reactions and our responses. Instead of immediately reacting to a stressful situation with irritation or fear, we can pause, breathe, and choose a more measured response. This not only helps to improve our emotional well-being, but also enhances our relationships, as we are able to respond with more patience and empathy. Take, for example, the story of a corporate executive I once coached. She was high-performing in her professional life, but felt overwhelmed by the constant juggling of work responsibilities and family obligations. Her anxiety levels were through the roof, and she was struggling with sleepless nights, unable to switch off her mind. After learning about meditation, we worked together to implement a simple daily practice, just 10 minutes of sitting quietly, focusing on her breath, and allowing her mind to settle. At first, she was skeptical. How could a few minutes of sitting still make a real difference? However, within just a couple of weeks, she reported noticeable improvements. Her sleep quality improved, and she found herself feeling calmer and more centered during stressful moments at work. What's more, she began to notice that her anxiety and stress no longer controlled her, but that she had the ability to control how she responded to them. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but through consistent practice, she found a new sense of inner peace and clarity that helped her thrive both personally and professionally. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require any special equipment, a specific environment, or a lot of time. All you need is a few quiet minutes and the willingness to engage with your inner world. While there are many types of meditation-guided meditation, body scan, loving kindness meditation, transcendental meditation, and so on, the core principle remains the same: bringing your awareness to the present moment, clearing the clutter of the mind, and reconnecting with yourself. You can meditate anywhere at home, in a park, at the office, or even on public transportation. The key is consistency. The more regularly you meditate, the more benefits you will experience. But it's not just the act of meditating that's important. It's the practice of mindfulness that we cultivate throughout the day. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in each moment, whether we're meditating or not. For instance, when you're eating, instead of rushing through your meal while scrolling through your phone, take a few moments to truly experience the food. Notice the textures, the flavors, the smells. The same goes for any task, whether it's walking, washing dishes, or having a conversation. When we bring our full attention to whatever we're doing, we not only improve the quality of that experience, but we also deepen our connection with ourselves and the world around us. This integration of mindfulness into daily life amplifies the benefits of meditation, making us more grounded, more aware, and better equipped to handle stress and challenges. Some might wonder if meditation really works for everyone. After all, we all have different temperaments, backgrounds, and life experiences. And while meditation might not be the magic cure-all for every individual, research has shown that it can have significant benefits for a wide range of people. Studies have found that regular meditation practice can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and PTSD. It has been linked to improved cognitive function, better sleep, enhanced creativity, and even lower blood pressure. The science backs up what many meditators already know: meditation is not just a feel-good practice. It has real, measurable effects on both mental and physical health. One thing that many people find surprising is how accessible meditation is. It's not something that requires years of training or advanced knowledge. Meditation is a practice that anyone can begin, regardless of age, background, or experience. There are many resources available, from free apps to guided videos that can help beginners get started. You don't need a special setting or spiritual inclination to benefit from meditation. Whether you're sitting in a quiet room or on a bustling subway, The practice is equally effective as long as you're present and committed to the process. The lesson here is clear. Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating inner peace, clarity, and resilience. It provides a sanctuary from the stress and chaos of modern life, allowing us to center ourselves and reconnect with our deeper purpose. Whether you're looking to reduce stress, enhance your emotional well-being, or simply find a greater sense of balance, meditation offers a practical, accessible, and transformative solution. By dedicating just a few minutes a day to this practice, you can unlock a powerful tool for creating more peace and harmony in your life. The mind is one of the most powerful tools we have at our disposal. It's a complex engine that governs not just our actions but also our emotional responses, our interactions with others, and even our physical health. Yet, despite its immense potential, the mind can also be a source of distress, anxiety, and self-doubt. Negative thought patterns, fears, and worries can take root in our minds, shaping our perception of the world and influencing our behavior in ways we may not even realize. The key to unlocking the mind's full potential lies in harnessing the power of positive thinking, a practice that can transform our outlook on life, our relationships, and even our health. Positive thinking is often misunderstood. Some may view it as a form of denial or escapism, a way of ignoring life's challenges in favor of pretending everything is fine. However, that's not what positive thinking is about. It's not about avoiding reality or pretending that problems don't exist. Instead, positive thinking is about choosing to focus on solutions, possibilities, and opportunities rather than dwelling on the obstacles or limitations that stand in our way. It's about shifting our mindset so that, no matter what life throws at us, we can find ways to approach it with optimism, hope, and resilience. One of the most profound insights I've gained over the years is the realization that our thoughts have an immense impact on our experiences. The mind doesn't just reflect reality, it creates reality. The way we think about situations, people, and ourselves directly influences how we perceive and engage with the world. When we focus on the negative, on what's not working, on what we lack, or on what's going wrong, we can easily slip into a spiral of despair or frustration. Our energy is drained, and the world around us can feel overwhelming. But when we intentionally choose to focus on the positive aspects of life, on our strengths, on the lessons we can learn from challenges, on the opportunities that await us, we begin to see things in a new light. Suddenly, problems seem more manageable, and the world seems full of possibility. Positive thinking is not about denying challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to look at those challenges from a place of strength and hope. It's about cultivating a mindset that believes in the possibility of a better future, even when the present moment is difficult. Over time, this shift in perspective becomes ingrained in our daily lives, influencing not just how we think, but also how we act. Take, for instance, the story of a woman I know who was going through a particularly difficult divorce. At first, she found herself consumed by negative thoughts. She worried about her future, about whether she would ever find happiness again, and about how she would navigate the many changes in her life. These thoughts were powerful and persistent, pulling her deeper into a state of fear and helplessness. But one day, she made a conscious decision to shift her mindset. She began practicing positive thinking, replacing her thoughts of doubt with affirmations of hope, strength, and self-worth. Instead of thinking, "I'll never be happy again," she started telling herself, "I deserve to be happy, and I will find a way to build a new, fulfilling life." It wasn't easy at first. Her mind would often slip back into negative thinking, but she kept practicing. Slowly but surely, her outlook began to change. As her mindset shifted, so did her experiences. She began to notice new opportunities that had previously been hidden behind the veil of negativity. She found new passions, built stronger relationships with friends and family, and eventually met a new partner who supported her growth and happiness. Today, she's not only thriving in her personal life but has also become a coach, helping others who are going through similar challenges. She uses her own experiences to guide others toward the same transformation she experienced, teaching them how to harness the power of positive thinking to rebuild their lives after hardship. Her story is a powerful testament to the transformative power of positive thinking. It's not that she was immune to pain or struggle, she still faced many challenges along the way. But by consciously choosing to focus on what she could control, her thoughts and her attitude, she was able to turn a painful chapter of her life into one of growth, self-discovery, and empowerment. This is the essence of positive thinking. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending that bad things don't happen. It's about choosing to look at life through a lens of possibility and empowerment, even in the face of adversity. By training our minds to focus on solutions rather than problems, we open ourselves up to new opportunities, new insights, and new paths forward. The benefits of positive thinking are not just emotional or psychological. Research has shown that positive thinking can have tangible effects on our physical health as well. Studies have demonstrated that people who maintain a positive mindset are less likely to experience chronic stress, have lower levels of inflammation, and even have a lower risk of developing heart disease. Positive thinking has been linked to better immune function, faster recovery from illness, and improved overall well-being. The mind and body are intricately connected, and by cultivating a positive mindset, we can improve our physical health as well as our emotional and mental health. Positive thinking is also a crucial factor in building resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and we all encounter obstacles along the way. But how we respond to those obstacles can make all the difference. People who embrace positive thinking tend to be more resilient in the face of adversity. They are more likely to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as insurmountable barriers. This resilience is not about being immune to failure or disappointment. It's about having the mental and emotional strength to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the road may be. One example of this resilience can be seen in the story of a close friend of mine who faced a series of personal and professional setbacks. She had been laid off from her job, had experienced a difficult breakup, and was dealing with health issues. It seemed like everything was falling apart at once. But instead of succumbing to despair, she decided to approach the situation with a positive mindset. She focused on what she could control, taking small steps each day to improve her situation. She updated her resume, took a few online courses to enhance her skills, and reached out to friends and colleagues for support. Gradually, she began to see opportunities open up, and within a few months, she secured a new job that was even more aligned with her passions. While her journey wasn't easy, her ability to stay positive and focused on solutions rather than problems played a critical role in her success. The lesson here is clear. The power of positive thinking is transformative. It allows us to see opportunities where others might see only obstacles. It helps us build resilience in the face of adversity and fosters a sense of empowerment that can carry us through life's challenges. Positive thinking is not about blind optimism or ignoring reality. It's about choosing to focus on solutions, possibilities, and growth. It's about training the mind to see the best in ourselves, in others, and in the world around us. By doing so, we can create a life that is richer, more fulfilling, and more aligned with our deepest desires. The shift toward positive thinking is not something that happens overnight, but it's a practice that can be cultivated over time. Start by paying attention to your thoughts. When you notice negative thoughts creeping in, thoughts of doubt, fear, or frustration, pause and ask yourself, what's another way I can look at this situation? Try to reframe the challenge in a way that empowers you. For example, if you're facing a difficult task at work, instead of thinking, this is too hard, I'll never get it done, try thinking, this is a challenge, but I have the skills and resources to tackle it. I will take it one step at a time. Little by little, these small shifts in perspective will accumulate, and you'll begin to see the world through a more positive, empowering lens. In the end, positive thinking is not a magic cure for life's difficulties, but it is a powerful tool that can help us navigate the ups and downs with grace, resilience, and hope. It allows us to turn setbacks into comebacks, challenges into opportunities, and struggles into lessons. By choosing to focus on the positive, we not only improve our mental and emotional well-being, but also enhance our physical health and create a more fulfilling life overall. Nature is often seen as a background for our busy, lives a place we visit when we need a break or when we're looking for a scenic view to unwind. However, nature is far more than a passive backdrop. It is a powerful, active force with the ability to heal and restore. The natural world offers an invaluable resource for nurturing our minds, bodies, and spirits. It provides us with a sense of calm, a mental reset, and even physical healing when we allow ourselves to slow down and reconnect with the earth. Whether it's the sound of waves crashing on the shore, the smell of pine trees on a forest walk, or the sight of a clear sky stretching across a mountain range, nature has an unparalleled ability to ground us, making us feel more centered and balanced. In a world that increasingly encourages us to move faster and work harder, nature offers an antidote, one that helps us restore our sense of well-being and find clarity amidst the chaos of modern life. The healing power of nature is not a new concept. Ancient cultures recognized the connection between the natural world and human health long before the advent of modern medicine. Indigenous traditions, for instance, have always emphasized the importance of harmony with nature as a cornerstone of health and vitality. Traditional healing practices often involve the use of natural elements like plants, water, and sunlight to promote well-being. In modern times, we've learned to appreciate the therapeutic effects of nature through scientific studies, which demonstrate how time spent outdoors can reduce stress, boost mood, improve cognitive function, and enhance overall physical health. One of the most immediate effects of nature is its ability to reduce stress. The natural world has a calming influence that allows us to slow down, let go of our worries, and reconnect with the present moment. In fact, studies have shown that spending time in natural environments lowers cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress, and can even reduce blood pressure. For example, a study conducted in Japan found that people who took walks in forested areas experienced lower levels of anxiety and depression compared to those who walked in urban settings. Nature doesn't just soothe our minds, it also helps us reset our physiological responses, promoting a sense of relaxation and balance that can last long after we leave the natural environment. I've personally experienced the healing power of nature in my own life. Growing up, I always felt a deep sense of peace when I was surrounded by natural landscapes, whether it was the calm of a quiet forest or the expansive beauty of a sunset over the ocean. However, it wasn't until I started making a conscious effort to spend more time outdoors that I fully appreciated just how transformative nature could be. I began taking daily walks in the park, often in the early mornings before the rush of daily responsibilities kicked in. The act of stepping outside into the fresh air, listening to the birds, and feeling the breeze on my skin became a form of moving meditation. I could feel the tension in my body and mind begin to dissipate with every step, and by the time I returned home, I was rejuvenated and ready to face whatever challenges the day would bring. Whether it was the simple act of observing the way sunlight filtered through the trees or the quiet rhythm of my footsteps on a forest trail, nature had a way of reminding me that I was part of something much larger, a reminder of the inherent peace and stillness available to us at any moment. In fact, the transformative effects of nature go beyond just mental relaxation. Nature's healing power extends to our physical health as well. The simple act of being outside has been linked to improvements in cardiovascular health, a stronger immune system, and better sleep quality. Natural light, for instance, helps regulate our circadian rhythms, making it easier for us to sleep soundly at night and feel more energized during the day. Additionally, spending time outdoors encourages physical activity, whether it's walking, hiking, cycling, or simply moving about in an open space. Physical activity is, of course, a key element of good health, and nature provides the perfect setting for it, allowing us to move our bodies in ways that are invigorating and refreshing. A close friend of mine experienced firsthand the restorative effects of nature when she found herself struggling with burnout. A successful but overworked lawyer, she had spent years working long hours in a fast-paced environment, constantly chasing deadlines and trying to meet the demands of her clients. Her work left little room for relaxation or self-care, and over time, she began to feel emotionally drained and physically exhausted. Despite her accomplishments, She was becoming disillusioned with her career and was finding it increasingly difficult to find joy or meaning in her work. One day, overwhelmed by the constant pressure, she decided to take a step back and spend some time alone in nature. She booked a solo hike in the nearby woods, hoping that a change of scenery might offer her some clarity. That day, surrounded by the peace and stillness of the forest, something shifted inside her. The quiet sound of birds chirping, the rustling of leaves in the wind, and the smell of damp earth helped her to let go of the mental clutter that had been weighing her down. As she walked deeper into the woods, she felt the tension in her shoulders and chest start to release, and her mind, which had been racing with worry and stress, began to slow. After just a few hours in nature, she emerged from the woods with a renewed sense of clarity and peace. The stress that had once seemed overwhelming now felt manageable, and she found herself better able to put her challenges in perspective. This experience marked a turning point for her. She began to incorporate more nature breaks into her routine, scheduling regular hikes, walks, or even quiet moments in the park during her lunch breaks. Over time, she noticed that her sense of burnout began to recede. She was more focused, more grounded, and more connected to herself. She also started making healthier lifestyle choices, such as prioritizing sleep and finding ways to better manage her workload. Nature had provided the mental reset she so desperately needed, and it became a regular part of her self-care routine. This story illustrates the powerful effects that nature can have on our well-being. By allowing ourselves the time and space to step outside and experience the natural world, we can find peace, clarity, and a renewed sense of energy. Nature offers a space for reflection and healing that can be difficult to find in the fast-paced, distraction-filled environments of modern life. Whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting in a garden, the act of connecting with nature can offer profound benefits for our mental, emotional, and physical health. The lesson here is clear. Nature is a powerful, restorative force that we should not overlook. It is not just a passive backdrop for our lives, but an active participant in our well-being. By spending more time in nature, we can tap into its healing energy and find balance in our often chaotic, fast-paced world. Whether you live in a bustling city or a quiet rural area, opportunities to connect with nature are available to us all. A simple walk through a park, a visit to a nearby beach, or even tending to a garden can be a transformative experience. When we take the time to embrace nature, we allow ourselves to reset, re-energize, and heal. So, the next time you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or disconnected, take a moment to step outside and breathe in the fresh air. Let the beauty of the natural world remind you of your own inherent peace and vitality. Nature has a unique ability to heal us in ways that few other things can, and by consciously connecting with it, we can experience greater balance, happiness, and health in our lives. In the modern world, complexity and busyness have become almost synonymous with success. We are expected to juggle multiple responsibilities, work long hours, maintain relationships, manage finances, and keep up with an ever-growing list of tasks. On top of that, many of us collect possessions, goals, and commitments that we believe will bring us fulfillment, only to find that they often contribute more to our stress than our happiness. The irony is that, in our pursuit of achievement, we often overlook the simple truth. Simplifying our lives can be the key to greater well-being. Simplicity may sound counterintuitive in a society that values hustle and productivity, but the truth is that simplicity, whether in our physical surroundings, our schedule, or our mindset, plays a profound role in our mental and emotional health. The more cluttered our lives become, the more overwhelmed we feel. When we try to do everything, be everything, and have everything, we risk burning out and losing touch with the things that truly matter. This is where the concept of simplicity comes in as a remedy, a way to return to what is most essential. I first encountered the power of simplicity when I decided to declutter my life a few years ago. At the time, I had accumulated numerous possessions, obligations, and mental to-do lists that left me feeling constantly overwhelmed. I had been conditioned to believe that more was better than accumulating things, experiences, and commitments would lead to greater fulfillment. But over time, I began to realize that these things weren't adding to my happiness, they were detracting from it. My home was cluttered with items I no longer needed. My schedule was packed with unnecessary meetings and appointments, and my mind was constantly racing with thoughts of what I had to do next. So, I made a conscious decision to simplify. I started with my physical space, removing things I didn't use or need. As I let go of excess possessions, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. My home became less chaotic, and I began to notice the beauty of the items that truly mattered. The process of decluttering was not just about creating a more organized space. It was a shift in mindset. I began to appreciate the simplicity of having fewer things, each of which served a purpose or brought me joy. In my home, I no longer had to spend hours cleaning or maintaining unnecessary items. I freed up both time and energy to focus on what mattered most to me. The change in my physical space began to have a ripple effect on other areas of my life. I started reevaluating my commitments. I began to say no to things that didn't align with my values or long-term goals. I simplified my calendar, carving out more time for rest, reflection, and the relationships that brought me joy. As a result, I experienced a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. Rather than feeling like I was always behind, I felt like I was moving forward in a more intentional way. Simplifying my life allowed me to reconnect with the present moment, appreciate the small joys of daily life, and be more focused and mindful in everything I did. The impact of simplifying life goes beyond just physical decluttering. It extends to our mental and emotional well-being as well. When we simplify our minds, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of worry and overthinking. We stop getting caught up in the what-ifs and start focusing on the what is. The more we reduce mental clutter, the more space we create for clarity, creativity, and emotional resilience. A close friend of mine, a mother of 3 young children, found herself struggling with the constant demands of family life. She was constantly running from one activity to another, trying to keep up with her children's schedules, managing her household, and keeping up with work. Despite her best efforts, she often felt overwhelmed and disconnected from her own needs. One day, after attending a minimalist workshop, she decided to simplify her family's life. She began by decluttering their home, getting rid of excess toys, clothes, and other items that no longer served a purpose. She realized that the more things they had, the more time and energy she spent managing them. By reducing the physical clutter, she found more time for the things that truly mattered, spending quality time with her children, having moments of peace, and enjoying her own hobbies and self-care. In addition to decluttering their home, my friend also decided to simplify her family's schedule. She reduced the number of extracurricular activities they participated in, allowing for more free time and less rushing from one event to another. This not only alleviated her stress, but also allowed her children to enjoy a more relaxed, fulfilling childhood. As a result, her family's home environment became calmer and more joyful. By focusing on what was truly important, they all experienced greater happiness and connection. This example shows that simplicity is not about depriving ourselves or our families. It's not about rejecting all forms of material wealth or activity. Instead, simplicity is about intentionality. It's about choosing what truly adds value to our lives and letting go of the rest. It's about focusing on what matters and making room for those things. In a world that often encourages excess, simplicity allows us to slow down and reorient ourselves around our true needs and values. The concept of simplicity can be applied to various aspects of life, from our personal possessions to our time and mental energy. When it comes to possessions, it's about being mindful of what we bring into our lives. Every item we own takes up not only physical space but also mental space. It requires our attention, maintenance, and energy. By being more intentional about what we buy and keep, we can reduce the clutter and focus on what truly brings us joy and utility. This doesn't mean we need to adopt a minimalist lifestyle, but it does mean being selective and thoughtful about what we own. In terms of time, simplifying our schedules can lead to greater fulfillment and reduce stress. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, but not every activity or commitment is essential. Simplifying your time means learning to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals. It's about prioritizing the things that matter most, whether that's spending time with loved ones, focusing on personal growth, or simply taking time to relax and recharge. By saying no to distractions and unnecessary obligations, you create space for what truly nourishes you. Mental simplicity is perhaps the most challenging, but also the most rewarding. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by information, distractions, and expectations. Our minds are often cluttered with worries, doubts, and to-do lists. Simplifying our mental space involves becoming aware of our thoughts and choosing to focus on the present moment. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and journaling can help clear mental clutter and create more space for peace, clarity, and creativity. By quieting the noise in our heads, we can reconnect with our inner wisdom and intuition. The lesson here is that simplicity is not about depriving ourselves, it's about creating space for what truly matters. It's about eliminating the distractions and excess that prevent us from experiencing peace, joy, and fulfillment. When we simplify our lives, whether it's by decluttering our possessions, simplifying our schedules, or clearing mental space, we make room for the things that truly nourish us. In a world that often encourages excess, simplicity offers a pathway to greater well-being and a more meaningful life. By embracing simplicity, we can live more intentionally, reduce stress, and focus on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. The process of simplifying is deeply personal, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. What matters is taking the time to evaluate what is truly essential in your life and making conscious choices that align with your values. When we simplify, we not only create space in our physical and mental worlds, we also create space for happiness, connection, and peace. The transformative power of holistic wellness lies in its ability to foster balance, health, and personal growth. In a world that constantly pushes us toward productivity, success, and external achievements, it's easy to forget that true well-being comes from nurturing every aspect of ourselves, our body, mind, and spirit. While the journey to wellness is deeply personal, the practices discussed here provide a roadmap for those seeking not just to survive, but to thrive. It's important to remember that no single practice will provide immediate results, but over time, when integrated, these practices create lasting shifts that lead to profound transformation. Holistic wellness is more than just physical health or mental clarity. It's about aligning all facets of your being in a way that promotes harmony and purpose. This requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to explore what works best for you as an individual. Every step you take toward this integration brings you closer to a deeper sense of fulfillment. The key is consistency and the willingness to experiment, observe, and adapt along the way. When we talk about body, mind, and spirit working together, it's not just an abstract concept. Each element is interdependent, meaning that nurturing one aspect will have a positive ripple effect on the others. Take, for instance, the concept of mindful eating, which we discussed earlier. While eating with awareness may seem like a simple practice, it can have significant physical and mental benefits. By slowing down and truly appreciating the food we consume, we not only improve digestion and nutrition, but also cultivate a deeper connection to our bodies. This practice of mindfulness, when extended to other areas of life, creates a sense of presence that permeates everything we do. And as we become more attuned to our bodies, we're better equipped to make healthier decisions. Whether it's choosing the right foods or engaging in physical activity that feels nourishing rather than burdensome. Similarly, meditation and mindfulness offer profound benefits for mental clarity and emotional well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the daily noise of life, the emails, the meetings, the expectations, and the pressures of modern living. Meditation provides a sanctuary, a space where we can retreat inward and find stillness. At first, it may feel difficult or uncomfortable, as it did for me. The mind is trained to be constantly active, constantly in motion, but with practice, meditation can create a profound shift. It helps us gain better control over our thoughts, regulate our emotions, and find a sense of inner peace that carries over into every interaction. One of the most remarkable things about meditation is its cumulative effect. While a single session may offer temporary relief, over time, it helps create a baseline of calm that allows us to navigate life with greater ease and resilience. The power of positive thinking, too, plays a significant role in this transformation. As I mentioned, the mind is a powerful force that can shape our experiences. It's all too easy to fall into patterns of negativity, especially when facing difficult circumstances. But by consciously choosing to focus on the positive, we begin to shift our reality. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges, it means choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems, on opportunities rather than obstacles. This shift in mindset can have a profound impact not only on our mental health, but also on our physical health. Studies have shown that individuals with a positive outlook tend to experience lower levels of stress and are better equipped to cope with illness and hardship. In addition to mental and emotional wellness, we must also acknowledge the importance of our physical environment, which brings us to the healing power of nature. Nature has an incredible ability to restore balance and foster well-being. It's easy to get disconnected from the natural world when we're caught up in the hustle of everyday life. But spending time outdoors can do wonders for our health. Whether it's a simple walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or even just sitting in a garden, nature has a calming effect that allows us to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. Nature's healing power is especially potent in times of stress or emotional turmoil. My friend, the lawyer who took a solo hike, experienced firsthand how nature can reset the mind and body. In a world that demands so much from us, nature offers a sanctuary, a reminder that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves. Lastly, the practice of simplifying our lives cannot be overlooked. In a society that glorifies multitasking and productivity, it can be difficult to embrace the concept of simplicity. Yet, as I discovered through my own journey, simplifying our lives, whether by decluttering our physical space, simplifying our schedules, or streamlining our mental processes, creates room for clarity, peace, and joy. It's easy to get bogged down by unnecessary possessions, commitments, and mental clutter. But when we simplify, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters. My friend, the mother of three, found that by decluttering her home and reducing extracurricular activities, she was able to create a calmer, more joyful environment. Simplicity isn't about deprivation. It's about creating space for the things that truly bring us happiness and fulfillment. In my own life, I've witnessed how small, consistent changes have led to monumental shifts. Every day, I strive to embody these principles, whether it's through mindful eating, daily meditation, or spending time in nature. The transformation has been gradual, but powerful. I've become more attuned to my body's needs, more centered in my mind, and more connected to my purpose. This holistic approach to wellness has not only improved my health, but also deepened my sense of fulfillment and peace. It's a journey that requires patience, but the rewards are worth it. It's also important to note that this process of transformation is not linear. There will be times when we slip back into old habits, when life becomes chaotic or stressful, and we struggle to maintain our balance. And that's okay. Wellness is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. The key is to keep moving forward, to continue making small changes that align with your values and your vision of a balanced life. And even on the days when it feels like we're not making progress, the simple act of showing up for ourselves and practicing these principles is enough. The journey itself is just as important as the destination. As you reflect on the principles we've explored: mindful eating, meditation, positive thinking, nature's healing power, and simplicity, I encourage you to start small. Don't feel pressured to overhaul your entire life all at once. Begin by incorporating one or two of these practices into your routine and observe how they affect your well-being. You may find that some practices resonate more deeply with you than others, and that's perfectly okay. Wellness is highly individual, and what works for one person may not work for another. The key is to stay open, be patient with yourself, and make adjustments as needed. Each small step you take toward greater well-being brings you closer to a life of balance, health, and fulfillment. The path to holistic wellness is a lifelong commitment, one that requires self-awareness, flexibility, and a willingness to grow. But by embracing these principles and integrating them into your daily life, you are already on the right path. The journey is yours to create, and with each step, you will discover more about yourself, your needs, and your potential for happiness. In the end, holistic wellness isn't just about following a set of rules or principles. It's about understanding that true well-being encompasses all aspects of who we are. It's about nurturing our bodies with nourishment and movement, calming our minds with mindfulness and positive thinking, and restoring our spirits through nature and simplicity. When we tend to our physical, mental, and emotional health with intention and care, we create a life that is balanced, empowered, and deeply fulfilling. The path to wellness is personal, but it is also universal. No matter where you are on your journey, know that you have the power to create a life that aligns with your values, your needs, and your aspirations. Take it one step at a time. Trust the process, and remember that every moment spent nurturing your well-being is a step toward a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. So there you have it, 5 transformative principles for living a life of holistic wellness. Each one of these ideas has the potential to completely change the way you view your health and happiness. The best part? You don't have to do it all at once. Remember, it's the small, consistent changes that compound over time, creating a life that's balanced, joyful, and deeply fulfilling. But here's the real kicker. These principles are not just theories, they're real, practical tools that anyone can implement right now. Whether it's taking a moment to breathe before you dive into your busy day, spending time in nature to recharge, or simply slowing down enough to eat mindfully, you have everything you need to make a shift toward wellness. I know it can feel overwhelming at first, especially when life pulls you in a million directions. But don't be discouraged. Like any journey, it's about taking that first step, and as long as you keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps are, you will notice the shifts in your life. Trust me, you'll be amazed at the power of even the smallest adjustments. If this video resonated with you, and you feel inspired to try one or more of these wellness practices in your own life, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're incorporating these principles into your routine and any breakthroughs or struggles you might be facing. Remember, this channel is all about creating a community of growth. So share your experiences and let's support each other in this journey. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who could benefit from a little more balance and positivity in their lives. Together, we can build a community that thrives on wellness, body, mind, and spirit. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, your journey to a healthier, happier life begins with just one small choice. Start today and keep moving forward. You've got this.